Georgia, home of the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, and the Ramblin' Wreck leading the Jackets onto the field as it has done for every home game going back to 1961. Jackets in their ghost uniforms today, harkening back to the Black Watch defense, taking on the Bowling Green Falcons at a conference. Hi, everybody. Alongside Mark Herzlich, I'm Chris Cotter. Let's talk about Georgia Tech because they're coming off probably the most impressive win of the year on the road against Wake Forest. Defense stepped up, but Haynes King has stepped up all year. They finally got their quarterback.
They got their quarterback. Haynes King, grad transfer from Texas A&M, still has 2 years left with the Jackets. In 2021, he was the guy. He was the game one starter, then broke his leg, missed the rest of the year. In 2022, he got benched after an App State loss. But when you talk to Brent Key, he said, I don't care what happened at Texas A&M. Since he's been a Yellow Jacket, he has been nothing short of phenomenal. He is a leader on the field. He has a really good arm, very accurate with the football, and he can use his legs to get outside of the pocket and scramble a little bit too. We've talked about, hey, he is this good. He has 11 touchdowns, leads the ACC. He is a guy to watch today.
And just 2 interceptions to go with those 11 touchdowns as well, so he's taking care of the football. When you think about Bowling Green State, it's a team that, look, they played great in the loss against Michigan, and Coach Leffler was very happy about that. Last week in a loss to Ohio, he was completely apoplectic about how poorly they played. So what do they have to do for us to see the good Bowling Green State team today?
Well, they can't hurt themselves. Scott Leffler's right. They missed interceptions. They had unnecessary turnovers versus Ohio. And look, if we play our game of football, we can compete with anyone. This game against Georgia Tech could go down to the wire. However, if we beat ourselves, if we give them balls, if we don't make plays when they're there, we're going to get blown out. And I think that's the biggest thing. They have the offensive threats. They have weapons at running back. They have weapons at wide receiver. It's just, can those dudes make plays when they're presented?
Yeah, they do have a lot of weapons, and Georgia Tech comes into this game ranked 115th in the country in total defense. So that's an area where they have to shore it up, and it's not going to be easy. Marilyn Payne is the third member of our crew. She has more on that story down on the field.
Georgia Tech defensive coordinator Andrew Thacker said he worried about preparing for this Bowling Green offense because of how multiple it is. He said they have every offensive play in the history of offensive plays. But the great news for Georgia Tech's defense, they just played their best game, their first complete game of the season against Wake Forest, forcing 8 sacks and 5 turnovers. These two guys paced the Yellow Jackets. Kyle Kennard said that he has so much confidence now, not only in the defensive front for Tech, but in the back end because of how they finish what the front started. And Jaylon King made 2 interceptions, being named ACC DB of the week. He said, I have as much confidence in what we can do up front with the pressure as I do in our back end now. So this defense believes it can be as complete as it needs to against a Bowling Green team where they don't know what they're going to see on offense.
Yeah, thank you, Meryl. That is a great point. They do not know what they're going to see. And Coach Thacker talked about how he expects Coach Leffler in this offense to script their first dozen plays out of the gate and to try and put Tech on their heels. He has no idea how those 12 are going to play themselves out.
Yeah, you're right. And that's kind of the way that this offense runs, right? They will script out those plays. They did that against Michigan, and all they had was a quarterback who was 11 of 12 in the first half, and Cameron Orth before he got injured. And so they will do that, and they'll get their chance to do that. But Georgia Tech is going to get the first shot at the football.
Yeah, Georgia Tech won the toss, and they elected to receive. So Jack Sauter will put it in play for Bowling Green. And Christian Leary will be back with his heels on his own 2-yard line to receive this kick. Toe meets leather, and we are underway in Atlanta. Leary from his 5. Gonna try and return it. Got blockers in front of him. Spun around at the 20, still on his feet. 30. 40, out of bounds at about the 44. Georgia Tech off to a great start.
Well, there you go. that's one way of starting it off. Man, what a return. And coaches talked about Christian Leary and said, hey, look, he's a transfer in from Alabama. He really needs to get more touches. It's all about volume with this guy. Well, how about a confidence builder on the first kickoff return?
And how about confidence in him when you think about winning the toss? Most of the time we see coaches, when they win the coin toss, they defer to the second half. Coach Key and this Yellow Jacket team wanted the ball right away, and it's already paying dividends with a first down and 10 near midfield. King, play action. He's going to go all for it, and he's got Singleton beat his man, and score!
Wow! One play! That's all Haynes King needs. And how about the true freshman, Eric Singleton Jr., product of Douglasville, Georgia. He has been phenomenal for this Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets team, and what a play. Soft play action, no penetration from the Bowling Green defense, and one and done.
53 yards on the hookup, and Singleton has now scored a receiving touchdown in every college football game he's played in. All 5 of them this year, and he puts the Jackets up by 7 with just 17 seconds off the clock in the game.
Wow. Not much analysis needed for that one. I mean, yeah, one-on-one, a little play action. Yeah, where's the safety? Who knows? Game started, Bowling Green. That's a happy man right there.
Brent Key, you know, it's interesting.
Doesn't
I talked
look
to him.
happy.
No, he never will. I talked to him yesterday at practice, and I thought Eric Singleton looked so much like a former Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket receiver in Kelly Campbell. Same size, similar path to get to Georgia Tech in terms of the recruiting process. And Coach Key, who played with Kelly Campbell here at Tech, said Campbell was much more of a sprinter, a track guy who became a very good football player. Singleton is a good football player who, until very late in his high school career, became a track guy. He really didn't have world-class speed until his senior year at Alexander High School. He'd been working on his game as a receiver, and he's much more fluid as a true freshman than many receivers you'll see.
Yeah, and how about that, like, self-awareness? You talk about in 8th grade, he started working on his routes. Hey, how can I run this route to perfection? Because he didn't have that speed. And man, it's like, you know, it's like a point guard in high school all of a sudden growing 8 inches and becoming a small forward with handles. Like, that's a bonus for sure.
Take another look at the score. Singleton easily beat his man. Maryland has more on this outstanding young receiver.
Eric Singleton said that he really wants people to know, I'm not just fast, and you guys touched on this, I am a great route runner. He said he likes a 50-50 ball better than the type of catch he just made, though. He said, I get bored blowing past guys because of my speed. So we'll see if he gets one of his favorites later.
That one was boring then.
Because he just blew by the defender, Terrion Stewart. This is a heck of a back. It's tackled, but that's going to be a horse collar. Picked up about 2 yards on first down, but they're going to add 15 onto it. Referee Jeff Flanagan.
Personal foul. Close contact tackle on the 13 defense. 15 yards. Penalty. We had a run. First down.
Jeff Flanagan leading our ACC crew here, Mark. Let's take a look at the call.
Yeah, nothing even was good calls, pretty obvious live, but you see these guys, the first play of the game, perimeter run, and you're going to have to deal with the big boys up front for Georgia Tech's defensive line. I mean, they have some absolute monsters at the D tackle position. 88, Zeke Biggers, and Horace Lockett, number 55. They go 6'6", 330 and 6'6", 340.
Fake to Stewart. Bazelak's rolling out. Too high to hit his intended receiver, Odu Hilaire. Trinellis Tatum on the coverage.
See kind of Bazelak. He's the starter this week. He's been banged up a little bit. His knee, as you see that brace on his right knee, some MCL pain. But really nothing you can do about it. He's out here playing, and they're going to rotate. They're going to have Camden Orth, number 12, come in at some point in this game, and as long as Bazelak, he plays well, he'll stay in. The coaches told me if he doesn't play well, look for 12.
Stewart right into the mouth teeth of that Georgia Tech defense. Give him a yard. Tatum again on the stop from his linebacker spot. Here's a good look at Trinellis Tatum, junior out of Riverdale, Georgia. Third down. About eight plus to go.
One player we haven't talked about yet on Bowling Green's offense is Odu Hilaire, number 1 wide receiver. He makes some spectacular catches. Look to see if he's targeted here on the first 3rd and long.
4 wide outs. Instead, they give it up the middle. That's going to be a first down. Keith, Teron Keith, comes into the game and springs a big gain of about 14 yards right up the middle. First down, Falcons.
Well, Andrew Thacker's defense has had any issues, it's been stopping the run. They're dead last in the ACC in stopping the run, and it's interesting. It's especially on these third downs and these second down and longs where they spread out, they have a light box, and teams take advantage of it. Good job by Bowling Green calling that draw play.
Empty backfield now for Bazelak. Tech brings just 3, try to get it out to Hogan. And Finn Hogan couldn't extend to get it. It was out of his reach.
The Thacker's defense, they will have light boxes, meaning they will have only 5 or 6 defenders in that 5-yard space of the line of scrimmage, and they want to stop the pass first, right? They said we'll rally to the run, but they have been exposed over and over again in that run game.
Tech brings 5. Will they get to him? They do. Down goes Bazelak. It's a team with 8 sacks last week, and they pick up number 1 this week. Eddie Kelly led the charge from his defensive end spot.
Yeah, and only 1 sack going into last week. Look at Biggers, number 88. Do you see the quickness and the hand strike of Zeke Biggers? This dude is 6'6", 333 pounds before lunch.
He is bigger.
And he also has a quick twitch to him. Another third down and very long.
Counted off at 20 yards as they're now back into their own territory. Bazelak will look to throw. Tech brings just 4, gets it out to Keith, who is out of the backfield and makes the catch, but he's going to be nowhere near the first down. Gain of just 7 yards. Kenan Johnson, who's getting the start today at the near side corner, driving him out of bounds.
Good tackle in the open field by this defensive backfield for Georgia Tech. That has been an issue for them. Stopping players when they catch the football. A lot of broken tackles, a lot of extra yards, and that has resulted in a lot of big plays against this defense. Great stand.
Jackson Cleather in the punt for Bowling Green. End over end kick, fair catch, signaled and made by Rodney Shelley. And we'll get a flag down. They may have obstructed Shelley's catch radius after a 33-yard punt, no return.
Kick catch interference. Kicking team number 2. 15-yard penalty on the catch. First down.
Got to go out there and just Flanagan's mic. We'll work on that during the break.
You're going to work on that.
Yeah, no,
you do it.
7-0 Tech on top. Great to see Coach Bill Curry back, recognized during the break. Former great player under Bobby Dodd. The 60s here as a center. Went on to play center in the NFL with the Colts. Came back to coach the Jackets in the 80s. Good to see Coach Curry. I'm sure he was very pleased with that first scoring drive. Very quick scoring drive for the Jackets to start this game in those black and gold uniforms they wore so proudly when he was the coach. King with a little hitch. Now he gets it out. That's Rutherford.
Ooh, they're going fast.
Yeah, talking to offensive coordinator Buster Faulkner, they talked a lot about how they want to be tempo, but not just fast all the time. They just want to control the tempo of the game. And right now it seems like Faulkner wants to go fast. Up the middle, there goes Haynes, still on his feet. Taking the abuse and picking up extra yardage. The 5'9", 180-pound Jamal Haynes.
Let me talk to you right now about that offensive line. What? The wave. This left side of the O-line just mushes back Bowling Green's whole D-line.
Singleton on the catch. Loses the football, but gets it back. They have been down either way. Positive yardage on first down.
And this Georgia Tech offensive line, they have gotten much better in their pass protection. I mean, they were giving up massive amount of sacks last year. I think one area that the coaches are wanting them to get better at is the run blocking, right? And that first run that they had, much improved.
King the fake to Cooley, to his tight end Leonard. Leapfrogs the defender, down inside the 15, they'll mark him at the 12. Another 14 yards for this Yellow Jacket offense.
Bowling Green defensively, they look a little shell-shocked here, Chris. Just big play after big play after big play.
King passes it out to Leary. Touchdown.
Well, we said Bowling Green might script their first 10 plays or so. I think Georgia Tech has been 100% on execution across the board. Every single thing that they have tried has worked. This time, King get out on the edge off of the zone option and found Leary, who we talked again. Touches for Leary, touches for Leary. Big touchdown, his first as a Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket.
Aiden Burr with the try, and he splits the uprights. Yellow Jackets have had the ball twice on offense. They've scored twice on offense. 2 touchdown passes from Haynes King. The first to Singleton, this one to Leary. Jackets are rolling here in Atlanta early.
Network College Football is brought to you by Dukes, the official mayo of the tailgate.
Jackets in their ghost uniforms, glow-in-the-dark numbers and shoes. Won't need those today as the sunshine is bright here in Atlanta, and so is this Georgia Tech offense.
They're going to be fully charged, though, for when they get put away in those trunks.
That's a good point. Those things are going to glow for weeks.
Yeah, they're going to have to leave them out here and then just like harness all that glowing power. I was wondering with the black jerseys, because ghosts are what color?
White.
There we go.
I know. Maybe I think the thing is at night.
That's cool.
You're wearing the black jerseys.
Oh, yeah.
You're kind of like
you like
a ghost.
blend in.
Yeah, you blend in the shadows.
Nice.
Gavin Stewart through the back of the end zone. Maryland, what's going on?
Christian Leary get the almost ceremonial lift up from Coach Key after his touchdown. He said he's never done that to me before in a game. He did a few times during training camp. I didn't know it was coming, but he crawled me over. So I had to do it. He said, Coach, Frankie just has that energy. And you know, former offensive lineman, why not?
Knows how to get his hands under the shoulder pads.
Yeah,
and
he's
move
a vet.
players around. Right.
O-linemen know how to lift up running backs and wide receivers better than anyone.
Bazelak out of the backfield finds Keith. Good pick of about 6 yards on first down.
That's the second time they've used Teron Keith in the passing game. And they like to call him TK, and TK makes plays for them. You get that guy in open space, doesn't matter if you're going against a Michigan defense, Georgia Tech defense, he is hard to bring down. And coaches say, like, he's not the fastest, quickest guy, but he runs hard, high knees, breaks out of tackles.
Now Terrian Stewart, the bigger back of this combo. Stewart with the carry. Just muscles his way for about 3. Raylan Oliver on the tackle.
Yeah, these two backs, they're different, right? They're different types of backs. Teron Keith, that kind of open field guy, make guys miss. Terrion Stewart doesn't want to make anyone miss. His nickname since high school has been Bully. Kind of got a little bulldog stature, but he'll also bully you and run you over. They're a good 1-2 punch in the backfield.
3rd down and 1. Keith in the backfield with Bazelak. Bazelak will throw. Tech brings just 3, so he's got time, and he's got a tight end over the middle. Makes the catch and stays on his feet. Andrew Bench with just his 2nd catch of the year. It's going to be enough to move the sticks.
He was active last year in the passing game. Did 10 receptions on the season. It's just a good job of finding the soft spot in the zone. If you're running that crossing route and that mesh play versus zone defense, you want to find the hole and settle down. Really good job by him picking up the first.
Give to Stewart. Tries to change his direction. Look at those quick feet for a big guy. Still on his feet inside the 40. Down inside the 30.
Man!
Kenan Johnson had to track him down. He was dead to rights before you knew it. Whoop.
Yo,
Out the left side for 30 yards.
I love this dude. And I was trying to hold back a little with my emotional response to him early, but he is so fun to watch. He's 5'9", 225 pounds. Like, that is That is a muscle. That is a bowling ball of a guy. But you see how nimble he is with his feet, jumping over dudes, spinning around. He's a fun player to watch.
Stays in the backfield. Takes the handoff and has nowhere to go here. Just a massive humanity in the middle of that Georgia Tech defense. They'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
You know, Maryland talked in the open, like Scott Loeffler and Greg Nosal, they have all the plays, right? All the plays you can imagine. This Bowling Green offense is very multiple, but when you get down to it, they want to run the football. I mean, they want to set up the pass play with the run. And this drive right here shows kind of what they wanted to do from the first drive, starting to establish the run.
Play action, Bazelak to throw. Now he looks to the other side, and he's just going to have to throw that one away. Trying to set up a little bit of a screen on the far side, but Georgia Tech wasn't fooled, covered well.
Yeah, Cameron Stewart, the left tackle, was about 15 yards downfield, so that ball would have had to have been caught behind the line of scrimmage, and it was well defended. Again, last 3rd and long, they opted for the run. With the score, with the way it is, it could be 4-down territory if they pick up enough yardage. So it could be a run or pass in this situation. Well, with no backfield, though. No running backs in the backfield. You got to think pass.
Could get a jet sweep, though.
Nope.
You got Keith on the far side, top of your screen, split wide. Bazelak to throw. Georgia Tech brings some heat. Has this man Hilaire right at the 1st down marker, and I mean right at it. Let's see where they mark it.
Ooh, he looks
They're going to move the chains.
a little gimpy. Didn't take a big hit, but he did kind of fall awkwardly right at the end of that route.
That's his 40th straight game with a reception for Odu Hilaire. Cameron Orth coming into the game now for Bowling Green. We thought we would see both of these quarterbacks. Orth a little bit more of a running quarterback than a pocket passer like Bazelak. Orth is going to run it. Got blockers in front of him. Give him about 4 yards on 1st down. Horace Lockett, who is another extremely large individual, 55 in black, was able to get down the line of scrimmage and bring him down.
Yeah, and there's a good look at Orth. And yeah, you mentioned the running ability, but he was the guy who started versus Michigan and started the game perfect, 11 of 11. He has that ability to throw the ball. He can complete some good passes, but he also has a little bit of that movement on the ground that can really hurt defenses.
Orth is going to keep it himself. He's got blockers on the edge. Still on his feet inside the 5, and he reaches for the pylon. Touchdown!
Wow, okay. Okay. Cam Orth. And that was a designed quarterback run. You know, it kind of looked like he was rolling out to pass the ball, but all the wide receivers were blocking the entire time. And then you saw the toughness and the effort at the end. We talked about the defensive backfield not tackling well. Like that needs to be a tackle at the 8-yard line. And just the strength by Orth to pull Johnson into the end zone. Really good job. This Bowling Green coaching staff, they're looking to find their quarterback. Loeffler does not want to play a dual quarterback system. And we're all watching it. This is basically the tryout. They enter Maction after this game.
After review, the runner stepped out of bounds. The ball was placed on the 10-yard line. A 2nd and goal.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. It looked like Orth may have stepped out.
Excuse me. First down and goal.
Keep rolling. Yeah,
Yep.
right there, the heel out of bounds.
Yep.
And again.
And that ankle at the end.
They'll mark him down at the 2-yard line. 1st and goal for the Falcons, and Orth remains in the game.
Yep. He knows the deal. Hey, I gotta play a good game if I want to take over this job.
He's got Stewart in the backfield with him. Orth keeps it. No, the flag's down and whistle's blown. like Worth kept it. He did. He was stopped at about the 5. Stumbled on his own footing.
Offensive lineman lost the helmet.
Foul. Hands in the face. Defense, number 57.
That's why.
The penalty is half an assist to the goal. Automatic first down. Number 53 may stay in the game.
So that was Tunde Fatukasi, who got his helmet knocked off, but because it was because of a penalty, he can remain in the game. Half the distance, a 1-yard penalty, will replay first down. Worth is going to keep it again, looking for the end zone. Won't get there. Braylon Oliver, no, that now they say he did get in.
There.
It looked like Braylon Oliver was going to keep him out, but he just kept his footing and refused to go down and finally broke the plane.
Man, what a desire to get in the end zone by Cam Orth. And look at this push in the middle. You see Biggers just mauling the offensive lineman, and again, poor tackling by Georgia Tech defensively. There's Braylon Oliver, number 4, who just couldn't get him down. Great job by Camden Orth. And you got to wonder, right, with a drive like that, and Connor Bazelak didn't have any big errors on the first drive, but the team responded when number 12 was on the field. Keep your eye on who's the quarterback next time out for Bowling Green.
Bazelak drove him down right on the edge of the red zone, and then Cam Orth rather took over, got him into the end zone. Allen and I's kick is good. And Georgia Tech broke out to a 14-0 lead. Bowling Green took the kick, marched downfield. Both Bazelak and Orth playing, and eventually Orth finding the end zone. 14-7, Jackets on top. Bowling Green with a drive that took 5 minutes and 24 seconds off the clock. 10 plays, 75 yards. Orth finishing it off with a 1-yard scoring run. And this 2-quarterback system for Bowling Green worked on that drive. Bazelak started it, Orth finished it. Now they're right back in this game.
They certainly are right back in it. They do need to figure out a way to stop Georgia Tech's offense.
Leary on the return. Just upended at the 29. Marilyn Payne, what do you got for us, Marilyn?
Georgia Tech defensive coordinator Andrew Thacker's concerns have been validated already. One score by Bowling Green at the hands of 2 QBs and a good ground game. His worry so big this week that his 8-year-old daughter brought him the remedy, a worry doll. She made this in her 3rd grade class, came home and said, "Dad, you give your worries to the doll, you put it under your bed. When you wake up, you don't have those worries anymore because the doll does." He said he told the team about it Friday. He said, "I got the message. They got the message. We can only do what we can do. We have prepared as thoroughly as we can. We just have to go out and beat this offense."
Cooley. Give him 2 on first down. Maybe 1.
Very nice of his 3rd grade daughter to be thinking about him. And all the worrying that the coaches go through.
Yeah, he's still worried. It's a nice gesture. Cooley stopped in the backfield. Another helmet goes flying. Cooley will end up losing 5 yards.
Timeout. Helmet off defense.
Jordan Oladokin on the tackle, loses his helmet in the process. He'll have to sit out a play.
Good play on the outside, and they had it blocked up, numbers for numbers, but Oladokin just did a good job slipping under the tight end, bringing up 3rd down and long. This is Bowling Green's chance.
Whistles and flags fly. It'll be 3rd down and even longer.
That's
Mark.
really their chance.
False start. Offense, number 13, 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
And Oladokin came back in the game. He has not missed a play yet, so I think they're going to have to have him leave the game again, but We'll see if they catch that or not. Guess not.
He's staying in. There he is, number 1 in white. 3rd down and 19. King has a receiver open in Dominic Blaylock, but not even close to the yardage to gain. Jalen Husky on the coverage, and Georgia Tech is now going to be forced to punt.
Yeah, and that was a great job by this Falcon defense. I mean, there is absolutely nothing going right your way so far, and all you need is that one stop. And you get your offense driving down the field, you make that one stop. Now you can potentially get good field position if you get a decent punt return, and you're right back in this one.
The Irishman, David Shanahan, to punt.
Ooh,
that's off the side of his foot. Little nubber. It's going to go out of bounds at about the 41-yard line, so good field position to start this drive for Bowling Green. Tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern on the ACC Network, Pitt and Virginia Tech from Lane Stadium. Pitt has won 3 in a row against Virginia Tech, but as we all know, Lane Stadium at night, that is going to be rocking.
It's like, that was one of my favorite places to play. It just, and when you get a night game there, I mean, enter Sandman and the lights. We've called games there before because I cannot control myself.
Yeah, it's electric. You can't.
I can't.
It's scary, to be honest with you. I mean, you're still 6'5", about, what do you run these days?
Yeah, like 225.
Solid, rocked up 225, by the way. Bench again.
Appreciate that.
Got lineman in front of him.
I thought you were telling me to start benching again, honestly. I thought you were like, look, you're rocked up, but you need to bench again. No, it was bench again on the reception.
Those days are over, I think, aren't they? I mean, still bench, but you're not plating it up like you were back in the day with the Giants.
Once all my kids are in school all day and I have a couple extra hours.
Oh, going back to it.
It takes time to bench. You got to get the appropriate rest time in between sets.
You also don't want to wreck your shoulders, which is always possible. Stewart trying to wreck this defense. To spin again, stays on his feet, still on his feet. Down to the 45.
Yo, man.
11 yards once again for Stewart before Miles Sims finally brought him down. He is hard to bring down.
Yeah, check out that inside spin. Looks like a defensive
That was Miles
end.
Brooks too, by the way, out of space.
Yeah. You know, Miles Brooks is one of the best safeties in the league, and I mean, he doesn't know where he is right now.
He is a pinball. He's pinballing off his own teammates. Can catch a breather. He got Patterson and Keith now in the backfield. Reverse. That's Hilaire. He's got blockers in front of him in space, but there's a flag down behind the play. He'll pick up about 14, but they may be coming back, and I think we're going to get a hold on the edge.
Holding. Offense number 10. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
Call's going to go against Levi Gazaric, tight end.
Yeah, we told you to watch out, right? Who's going to be back in at quarterback? It's Connor Bazelak, who's back in there, and a couple handoffs so far, but he's going to have a tough road to sled on 1st and 20.
Empty backfield for Bazelak.
That could have been picked.
It wasn't. Instead, he finds Hogan. Picks up a chunk of those yards they lost on the penalty, but it still brings up 2nd down and 14.
Ooh, watch how close this is, though. Right there. Angle by Harris. A really good job, right? Bazelak understands, hey, Harris is a defensive end dropping out the flat. I'm going to try to throw it out to my wide receiver, who really presents it more as a tight end. Finn Hogan, 6'5", 220-pound wide receiver, kind of presents as that tight end for them, and they'll use him in that fashion.
Final minute of this first quarter. Bazelak to throw. Finds Hogan again underneath. Short gain. Going to bring up 3rd down and long. Miles Brooks on the coverage. We will see if Bowling Green will opt to snap it one more time, or if they choose, they can wait for the game clock to wind down.
In that 4-down territory, just over midfield. You pick up 5 here, look for them to possibly go for it on 4th.
And Bazelak waits for the clock to hit triple zeros. Come to the end of our first quarter here in Atlanta. Georgia Tech jumped out to a 14-0 lead. Bowling Green has come back. They've got a third down when we come back to start the second quarter. Start of the second quarter here in Atlanta, 14-7. Jackets on top of the Falcons. Connor Bazelak's going to face a third down and about 10 yards to start this second quarter for the Bowling Green team that, got to give them credit. It looked like they were going to get their doors blown off at the beginning of this game. It was 14-0 before you could even blink an eye, but they fought back to get it back to within 7, and now a third down in Georgia Tech territory to start the second quarter.
Yeah, and it's not easy, right? It's not easy to mentally just put the game in perspective. Hey, we're still early in this game. We got a lot of game left to play. It's going to be a big third down. But then we mentioned possible 4-down territory.
Keith motioning out of the backfield. Georgia Tech bringing heat up the middle. Hilaire can't make the catch.
A rare drop from Odu Hilaire. Georgia Tech brought the house, and that was open. That was open, and fortunate for Georgia Tech that wasn't caught. Good play on the outside by Kenan Johnson.
So Cleather comes in for his second punt of the day. Again, end over end, and Rodney Shelley will just let this one bounce toward the goal line. It's going to go into the end zone for a touchback. 44 yards on the punt, nothing on the return. It'll be a net of 24 yards. Earlier, Maryland was able to catch up with Coach Leffler.
Coach, we know you wanted to use both quarterbacks. We saw Connor Bazelak lead you guys into the red zone, and Cam finish that off. How will you continue to manage their use?
We're going to do exactly what you saw on that drive. We think that Cam brings a whole different dynamic in terms of running the ball, and he has the ability to throw it. So we're going to use them both and try to find a way to keep drives alive.
With the use of both, how do you make this offense as effective as they just were?
Do what we did last drive. Block, throw, and catch.
Thanks for the time.
Thanks a lot.
Haynes bounced it outside, and it was a heck of a tackle by Darren Anders.
Ooh, and
that would have been a big game.
Yeah, it would have. Darren Anders, he is no stranger to tackles. He's third at Bowling Green with 300-plus tackles in his career, and that one saved a big play because Jamal Haynes could have been out of there.
Loss of a yard. Now King will throw. Ball tipped at the line of scrimmage, incomplete. Trying to get it over to Singleton. Now another third and long for this Georgia Tech offense. Dontrez Brown got a big mid on it.
Little things, right? Little things like making the tackle in the open field, getting your hands up if you can't get to the quarterback. Those little things are what's going to allow Bowling Green to get back into this game.
Off his first incomplete pass of the game. King now trying to find a receiver, but can't. Overshoots his man. That was Dominic Blaylock, was the closest receiver even in proximity. That almost seemed like a play-breaking down blitz coming into my face. I got to get rid of it. There's Coach Key wondering what's going on. His offense just suddenly stalled out on their last two drives. And David Shanahan will come in to punt once again.
Yeah, and gutsy call by Bowling Green. Bringing pressure on that third down, and it worked out.
Much better kick this time around for Shanahan. Embry at his own 20. Able to pick up about 12 yards on the return before Josh Robinson brought him down. All right, now for today's Aflac trivia question. Who are the Power 6 Power Conference schools to never host game day? 6 Aflac Power 5 conference schools to never host game day.
Well, if you watch game day this morning, they did talk about those. And, yeah, we'll see the answer soon.
Flag down before the snap of the ball.
False start. Offense ineffective. First down.
I'm not sure who that was on, but it was somebody on the line of scrimmage. They actually went to Bowling Green. See, normally that question isn't, it has to do with one of the two schools, right? So everyone at home is guessing, well, I guess Bowling Green is one of those schools. And
it's been a Tech, right?
Right, there's Tech. So I guess this is FBS schools. I guess that's the question. What FBS schools? Since Bowling Green is not a Power 5 school, and I'm not sure what a Power Conference is. Stewart spinning and still on his feet.
Yeah, we talked to the coaches about Stewart, and you watch him run, and you think, man, Bowling Green's a good school, but he's under-recruited, and then he winds up here. It's because his stature, right? He's 5'9" only. I think if he was 5'10", 5'11", he'd be anywhere else, but it's interesting because I think his small stature makes him so difficult to tackle. I mean, the hardest player that I ever played against in the NFL was Darren Sproles, and he was about 5'9", 215 pounds. He was a beast to tackle.
Pile moving inch by inch. Shy of the first down, third down and a long yard.
Hilaire checks back in the game in the slot towards the bottom of the formation.
Bazelak has a receiver wide open here out of the backfield. The throw is high, but it's brought in by Stewart. Inside the 30. It'll be another first down for Bowling Green, 27 yards. Great play design, Mark.
It really was, and it looked like it was going to be a swap boot, and you see all the wide receivers crossing the field, and that's where the defenders went. You see number 14 right there following the crossing wide receiver, but great play design and really good job of climbing the ladder and catching that football, breaking a tackle, getting the first down.
Empty backfield again. Teron Keith in the slot. Bazelak looking his way, now the other way, but the pressure finally comes and brings him down. Kevin Harris with the second sack of the day for this Georgia Tech defense.
Kevin Harris, when I watch him on film, I say strength. He's only 6'4", 245, right? For a defensive end, that's kind of small, but they play this rush end, and you see that arm, that left arm getting right in that collar of the offensive tackle and just driving him backward. Between Kevin Harris and Kyle Kennard, two guys who are built very similarly but use their leverage and strength really well.
Bazelak has time, has a receiver over the middle, caught. That's Abdul Fattah Ibrahim.
Wow. Really good adjustment to that ball. A little bit behind him, but good in-air adjustment. Both of those guys, we talk about Hilaire and Ibrahim, they both transferred in from Alabama A&M, and they have been game-changing for this Bowling Green offense. There's Ibrahim.
Hilaire was the first to come from Alabama State, and then, or Alabama A&M, I should say, and then Ibrahim followed. Very close friends when they were both at Alabama A&M, and they've continued that friendship with Bowling Green. First down and 10 for the Falcons. In the red zone. Orth lowers his shoulder, took a big hit, stayed on his feet before finally being driven back. Clayton Powell-Lee delivered the initial hit from the safety spot.
You know what's interesting? Right, when Maryland talked with Scott Loeffler, like, how are you going to use these quarterbacks? He said that last drive is exactly how we're going to use it. Well, what I saw was that they trust Connor Bazelak in the open field to throw the ball downfield, maybe some of those things. And in the red zone, when you get to this high red zone, hey, the run, the yardages are going to be hard to get, the windows are going to be tighter. Let's put Orth in the game.
Stewart, flag down. He gets dropped for about a 1-yard gain. Let's check the marker. There'll be a hold against Bowling Green.
Holding. Offense number 5-5. 2-yard penalty. So second down.
I think that was number 75.
That's the worst referee microphone I've ever heard in my life.
Not good. At least we're hearing something.
That was 75, Nate Pabst.
Yep.
That's not a blue ribbon microphone.
I'll tell you what, that is not, but that's the first thing I thought of when I saw that last name.
You got it. There he is.
Little Pabst blue ribbon.
This heat here in Atlanta, use one of those. We'll have to wait till the game's over, though. Then we'll enjoy a cold beverage or two. Worth remains in the game. It'll be second down and forever now.
Probably not a Pabst, though.
You'll probably have a hard time finding one here in Atlanta.
That's a pretty good run.
Tyson Patterson on the carry. Micaiah Scott downfield making the tackle, 7 yards. So it's a third down and long. It's Leffler going to dial up here. Along with Greg Nosal, offensive coordinator, co-offensive coordinator.
Ben Hogan, number 11 in the slot. To the bottom of your screen.
Teron Keith, tailback also, split wide at the bottom. Tech brings just 4, or throws, and the receiver fell down.
Yeah.
Coming out of his break, Finn Hogan fell down.
Yeah, just got his feet caught up.
And this is kind of an interesting position here. Alan Anaya, the kicker for Bowling Green, is accurate but doesn't have a great deal of range. You know, Coach Leffler was saying maybe the 42-yard range for him in a game. This is going to be from 40 yards out. Very little wind, as you can see the flags on top of the goalposts. Anaya puts a toe into it, and he's got plenty of distance and plenty of accuracy.
Someone was lying to you, Chris. He looks like he would have been good from at least 45.
Nailed it. Falcons edge ever closer. It's now 14-10. Yellow Jackets on top midway through the second.
ACC Network College Football is brought to you by the Honey Baked Ham Company. Game day is a Honey Baked Day.
10-play, 42-yard drive. Took about 5.5 minutes off the clock, culminating in that Anaya field goal. One thing about Bowling Green is they were down 14-0 in the flash, and then they've had some time-consuming drives. They'll go 5-minute drives.
Yeah, and Georgia Tech kind of metaphorically cooling off from their potent offense at the start.
Leary. He's been good in the return game today beyond the 30-yard line. Maryland, what's going on down in the field?
Georgia Tech is also trying to physically, literally cool off down here. Training staff carrying around different sponges they've soaked in ice water in the coolers to keep the defense and the offense cool. The downside of these beautiful black uniforms, guys, is that the added heat is really amped up. It's about 90 degrees, feels like, on this turf as Georgia Tech tries to stay cool today.
And that's a very interesting graphic right there. You can see what they did in the first 2 drives. First play of the game was a bomb, 50-plus yards to Singleton. They got on the board in a hurry, but they have metaphorically cooled down, trying to get it back. And they're going to go with this guy, Haynes. Got blocked from Singleton out on the edge. That sprung him for an extra couple of yards. It's a first down.
Yeah, and if anyone's going to heat this team up, it's him. I mean, Jamal Haynes, super interesting story, right, Chris? He's a wide receiver, and then all of a sudden they have guys at wide receiver. Eric Singleton starts stepping up during camp, and it wasn't until spring that they transitioned Jamal Haynes over from wide receiver to running back, and he has established himself as the guy. I mean, he is physical, he is quick, and again, smaller guy, only 5'9", 180, but he's a tough guy to bring down.
Deere Kelly led a group of 4 Falcons to bring him down on that play. He had no chance. By the time he got to the line of scrimmage, he was surrounded by orange and white.
Yeah, and he's had, every game has 100 all-purpose yards between his pass catching and his rushing the football. He's been dynamic for this offense.
Pass behind Luke Benson.
And really, since the first couple plays, the accuracy of Haynes King hasn't really been exactly what we've seen. We haven't seen him miss poorly like that in previous games. It's going to be a big opportunity to get back on track.
He started 7 for 7. He's missed his last 3. 3rd and 10. Falcons bring just 4, so King has time, but way over the top. Malik Rutherford is 5'9", listed. He's not going to be able to climb the ladder and bring that one in. I don't even know if you could have brought
he's trying, right? He's forcing it. When coaches talk about pressing, especially from the quarterback position, a lot of times it results in too much power on a throw, right? Trying to force it in there, and if you don't plant your feet correctly, don't have the right release point. Whoa! That's not what happened there?
That is not how it was designed. Finn Hogan fell on it. Let's take another look at this one on the punt.
Look, it just
hit off the shoulder pad of the up man.
Yeah, wow.
A big mistake on special teams for the Jackets. Bowling Green back in business when we come back.
Welcome back to Atlanta, and how about this? This was a punt, and this ball is supposed to travel directly in between those two fullbacks, and it just ricochets right off the shoulder of Jason Moore, the defensive tackle who's in there for blocking. And that's an operation thing where, I'm not sure whether it's the long snapper, the alignment of Moore, or where the punter was asking for it, but either way, that is a critical mistake.
Bazelak back in business. They give to Stewart. Strung along,
Good
drop
tackle.
for a loss. Lamar Daniels with the tackle.
Yeah, the transfer from Kansas State. Really good job of just firing, right? Hey, I see it. Can we get downhill and make the play? Because that was going to be another broken tackle by the linebacker. And good job cleaning up from that safety position.
Both Patterson and Keith now in the backfield for the Falcons. Bazelak to throw. As time steps up, flips it over the top. It's batted down and incomplete.
Paul Moala got his hands up. Good job of mirroring the quarterback. And you watch the running back. I think it's Keith trying to slip right behind Moala, right there. Ooh, hey, maybe we got him. And Moala, great job with that right paw, getting it up, forcing a 3rd down and long.
Moala, the Idaho transfer, used to wearing these colors. 3rd down and 12. Patterson, the tailback. 3 receivers split to the bottom of your screen.
Georgia Tech showing 2 high safeties.
They come with just 4. Bazelak as a receiver. That's the great team, Austin Osborne on the reception. Daniels covering nowhere close to the 1st down. What do you think here? 4-down territory, or you trying to pin Tech deep?
It's too long. We talked about the field goal range. Too long for field goal range. If you happen to get a touchback, you're really only getting 15 yards. So this is that area of the field where kind of just by design, you go for it. And watch, number one, look at the point of that bunch. That's Hilaire.
Tech bringing pressure. Bazelak gets rid of it. Has a receiver for the 1st down. Osborne again, and Daniels giving chase.
Well, really good job, gutsy play call. Yellow Jackets line up in man-to-man, and he understands, look, I got a trailer. My defensive back's trailing. Don't love how Osborne went out of bounds. Just trying to fight for some more yardage, but good completion, good pitch and catch. Man, converting on 4th down, that's deflating for a defense.
4th down and long. Give up the middle. That's Stewart. Still on his feet. Flag comes in as Stewart is dropped at the 9-yard line by LaMiles Brooks. Let's check the marker, though. It came in long after Stewart had gotten past the line of scrimmage.
Personal foul. Illegal blindside block. Offense over 10. It's a 15-1 penalty. First down.
Blindside block here against Levi Kazarek.
Yeah, really good vision by Stewart. Cutting back right, putting his foot up in ground and cutting up the field. It's going to be negated because of the penalty, but bam! We follow that guard up there, and we saw that blindside block right at the very end. Really impressive young man running the football.
Nickname, as you said earlier, Bully growing up, and you can see why. Now empty backfield for Bazelak. Finds Ibrahim, trying to make a man miss. Gets some help. So Omari Harvey was on the coverage. 7 yards. They are owning time of possession.
Yeah, they
first
are.
Half, aren't
They certainly are. They're really taking what the defense is giving them. You know, it's, hey, we're going to run the football up the middle. Hey, then we're going to throw a little quick hitch route on the outside. And doing those types of things, as a defense, you just have to say, okay, look, don't let them get beat. Don't let us get beat deep. Eventually, this field's going to shrink when we get into the red zone, and that's when we need to bow up.
Stewart on the carry. Comes back this side, gets a block from his quarterback inside the 20. Tackled by Harvey at about the 15. First down for the Falcons.
You mentioned Stewart and you know how impressive he is, and as you see him hobbling off a little bit, but he is a phenomenal story too. You know, when he was younger in high school, he was out on a picnic with his girlfriend, and they were near this lake, and they were in their car because this rainstorm came and they found shelter, and he looked out and he saw these boys struggling to stay above water, and he ran out there and he rescued these guys and he pulled them out of the water, and he saved their lives. And you know, just like, yes, we see what he does on the field, but he is an even better human being. So props Terrion Stewart for that heroic effort.
Yeah, that's a great story. Stewart from the Memphis area.
Just, you know, think about that. Just got letters from that family saying how much they appreciated him, obviously, and you know, made his way to Bowling Green, and he's been phenomenal here.
Maryland has more on Stewart.
Talked with Terrion Stewart this week. He was both having a conversation discussing Georgia Tech and handing out some cookies to his teammates. It is running back coach Brian White's wife, Sally, who makes these cookies he's holding right here. He's a multitasker. He can tell me how prepared his unit is to run the football today. He said his O-line's been so excited about running the ball today because of how light the box is that Georgia Tech plays with. And he also is a man of the people, making sure his teammates stay fed and stay fed well.
He saw it with Finn Hogan.
You know what doesn't last long? A tray of cookies
No
at a football
doubt.
practice.
I'm sure.
those things go fast. And then guess what? If they win this game, those cookies are going to have to be made every Friday for
It'll be
practice.
a tradition. They go on the road winning this stadium right here, especially the way they played last week against Ohio. Again, goes to the nature of this team. They had an outstanding first half against Michigan. They were right in the game against the Wolverines. And in the last game, Coach Leffler said, you know, think about his press conference on Sunday, he really didn't even know how to describe how poorly they played against Ohio last
he
week.
didn't. And you know what it was? It was once they got hit in the mouth, he thought they folded. And he said, what do you say? He said, hey, you know what the best ideal game? If we give up a pick six and then our team turns around and we turn it on. Well, hey, they basically gave up a pick six with that first play, a big long touchdown, and they've stepped up.
Bazelak couldn't get it to Hilaire because LaMiles Brooks brought the heat.
Really good break on the football and physical disruption at where the ball is being caught. With this really good timing, really good job of getting that left hand in there, swiping down at those arms. And that's a big play and a clean play by LaMiles Brooks.
3rd down and 10. Keith is in the backfield with Bazelak. Georgia Tech showing pressure up the middle. They bring it. Bazelak going to the end zone. High pass caught by Finn Hogan.
No way! Yo, wow! Finn Hogan. That could have been the best catch I have ever seen.
Not only one-handed, but with a defender draped all over him.
Wow.
And it was LaMiles Brooks, no less.
Yo, we got to see that again. LaMiles Brooks had him around the waist, pulling him to the ground. And that was a phenomenal catch by Finn Hogan, 6'5", 215-pound transfer from Central Michigan. He's making a statement on this game.
Anaya adds the points. 40 yards in 4 minutes and 42 seconds, 10 plays, and the most spectacular was the 10th and final play. Finn Hogan climbing the ladder and bringing it in with one hand. Falcons take their first lead of the day here in Atlanta. Falcons have taken their first lead of the game on a spectacular catch by Finn Hogan. And they have just bled this game clock dry in this first half. Georgia Tech scored 14 points on their first 2 possessions, including their first play of the game from scrimmage. But since then, it has been all Bowling Green. Down 14-0. Now they lead 17-14.
I'm still gathering myself of all the things I knocked over as I was jumping out of my seat after that catch. And so, okay, so we've seen some spectacular catches from Bowling Green. You guys decide which was better. This was a few weeks back, opening week. This was Odu Hilaire. And look at this fingertip catch. Squeezing those balls, squeezing that ball in between his fingers. And this one, I mean, I don't know. This Hogan one might have it beat. That was one heck of a catch.
With the defender, again, draped all over him. And Hogan brings it in. You know, we saw right before that catch, we saw him eating those cookies after practice.
Yeah, he was there. I'll tell you what, you can't, he's not going to be able to play without cookies again.
Right. How does Tech respond here in the late going? Rutherford. They need to get the ball in his hands. They need to get it in Leary's hands. You know, they don't have a stable of receivers that are 6'2", 215 pounds, as we have a player down on the play.
Timeout.
That's
Player injury.
Jalen Husky. We'll take a quick break. Be back with the final 2:23 of this first half. Tech trailing ball engineering building there in the background. I never stepped foot in that building once when I was on campus, and I was here for a long time, 6 years. Athletic trivia question. Let's answer it. Who are the 6 Power 5 conference schools to never host College Game Day? There they are. A couple of ACC schools.
It's going to be, right, at Maryland was ACC school. Cal is going to be an ACC school. Syracuse and Virginia.
Jackets trying to answer here. Get the lead back before halftime. They'll try it on the ground. They won't have a great deal of success. Trey Cooley. George Porter on the tackle. Clock winding inside of 2 minutes. King to throw. Pressure up the middle. Steps up into it. Pump fakes. Will keep it and step out of bounds. 46. Tech fans holding their breath there a little bit as King got hit hard, but he gets right back up onto his feet after a pickup of 7 yards.
And that's what King will do, right? It's not designed run plays that are going to hurt you from Haynes King just because they don't have a lot of them. It's those types of scrambles that'll pick up 6, 7, 8, 9 yards.
Anytime you have a quarterback sneak, under center too, which is not something you see very often in college football.
I love it.
Every time, 6'3" quarterback, that length just fall forward.
Yeah, it drives me bonkers when teams can't run a quarterback sneak. I feel like you have to be able to do that.
King again to pass. He can step up here and run. He's got a lot of grass in front of him. 40, down to the 36. And he took a hit.
You know what?
Now the flag comes in.
I don't think. We're going to watch the replay, and they're going to slow it down and all that stuff, but it felt like he wasn't going to slide. We'll see what they say.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Number 3 on the defense. The penalty is 15 yards. First down.
Yeah, and no targeting because nothing hit the head or neck area, but you see it doesn't look like, it looks like he's kind of cutting back and slowing it down. Obviously, there is a moment, but it just, how are you supposed to know if he's cutting back or if he's sliding? I don't like that, and that's obviously not reviewable because it wasn't a targeting.
Right.
It's so hard on a defender.
He's basically a running back, and what are you supposed to do? Wait? I think he might be starting to slide. No, he's not. Oh, he's gone. 1st and 10. Now King wants to run it. He's not going to get very far.
And that's kind of the mental aspect you have to have as Haynes King, right? The last 2 times plays have broken down. Guys haven't been open right now. I pulled down and run it. Well, it's not going to be there every single time. Now it brings up 2nd and long.
King to throw. Going to the end zone for Singleton. Covered nicely by Jordan Oladokin.
Yeah, great coverage by Oladokin. I mean, he was there. And quite honestly, if you didn't get a good defensive play from Eric Singleton, almost pass interference on Singleton because
Oladokin wanted it.
Yeah, I mean, if that was the other way around and that was Oladokin not looking back at the football and just attacking the defender, either way, good defensive stop on that play, and that'll bring up 3rd and long.
Falcons bringing the house. King is going to have to get flushed out of the pocket, and he's going to get sacked.
Oh, that's intentional grounding. That's got to be a...
Ball came out. Either way, he didn't get it. He's outside the tackle box, but he didn't get it within 15 yards of the line of scrimmage.
No. And he was in the grass. He just threw it.
I think they're going to rule him down, or intentional. Either way, that's where the ball is going to be, where he was sacked. Big old Chase Davis chased him down.
And really good job.
Forward pass. There was no receiver in the area. The ball did not make the line of scrimmage. That's intentional grounding. Penalty is a loss of down at the spot of the pass. 4th down.
And that is going to knock Georgia Tech out of any type of a field goal attempt as well.
Yeah, I mean, what a big play. And
loss of 19 on the play.
Great call by the defensive coaching staff for Bowling Green. They sent the house. They got pressure up the middle, and it was really good job on the outside rush to understand where you were, to not give up that contain, and force Georgia Tech to punt.
To avoid a 10-second runoff, Georgia Tech has called a timeout.
Wow.
First charge timeout.
I don't know. I would think
30 seconds.
I would think they would want a 10-second runoff here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not 4th and 14. It's 4th and about 30.
Yeah, you can't go for this, and you can't kick the field goal. So you're punting. Why would you want more time on the clock? But you see number 16 right on the outside. He made the play, right? Because it was so easy to just retreat and go back inside. Fantastic job of staying home by Davis and bringing down King.
Bowling Green has outgained Georgia Tech 223 to 155, and let's not forget, 53 of those 155 yards were on the first play of the game.
Yeah, they were almost all in the first 2 series.
So it's going to be back to the drawing board for Brent Key and this staff at the half. Shanahan is on to punt. Snap goes through this time, and Shanahan just wants to pin the Falcons deep. Fair catch at the 12-yard line with 44 seconds left to go in this first half after a 31-yard kick. And a 31 as well. Now, you're a team on the road looking to spring the upset here. You're a 22-point dog coming off the worst game you've played maybe in years. What do you do here? I mean, do you get too cute? I mean, you're your own 12 in the final minute, or do you just want to run this clock down? Or do you maybe just see what you do on first down?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're aggressive here. it does look like they're going to just kneel the ball down.
They do get the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, they're going to kneel it.
Does.
So Chris Winkie talking to his quarterbacks. Well, that'll answer the question right there.
Yeah, Coach Leffler wants to just take this one into the house at halftime, and really, this was a 14-0 game. Georgia Tech had the lead, and you got to give credit to that man right there and his team fighting back, not only to not get blown out of the building, but to take the lead in the first half.
Hey, not only take the lead, take the momentum along with the lead, and right now, there's a much different conversation that Leffler's having in his locker room than Brent Key is having in his. It is a much different feeling. If you're wearing those Ghost jerseys, you feel like you might be Ghost out there right now. You got to show up.
Our halftime score, 17-14. Bowling Green, the visitors out of the MAC with the lead over the Yellow Jackets. Let's send you to Kelsey Riggs and the ACC Huddle crew in Blacksburg for our halftime report. And a 17-14 our score, getting set to start this second half. Maryland Payne is down on the field.
All right, Ben, that one-handed touchdown catch. Walk me through how you made that grab.
Yeah, I mean, offensive line did a great job, gave Connor just enough time to get the ball up, and then we make plays. We got a lot left to go. We got 30 more minutes, so we're just focused on that right now. We're ready to play.
What's the key for your offense in the second half here?
We just can't kill ourselves. Penalties and stuff like that. We stay ahead of the chains. We're going to be just fine.
Do you practice that catch?
Sometimes.
It works out. Thanks.
It happens.
Well, obviously that catch by Hogan was a big part of what Bowling Green was successful in doing in that first half, but really it was an odd first half for both teams involved when you think about it. Mark Herzog and Chris Cotter with you. Mark, Georgia Tech goes up 14-0 early on. They only had 2 first downs after being up 14-0, and that gave Coach Leffler and this Bowling Green team all the ammo they needed to go ahead and score points and take the lead.
Yeah, and Leffler loves the fact that his team responded the way it did. You know, so easy to go down 14-0 after those, you know, the big play and then the long drive, and his team responded. And, you know, who didn't respond? It was Brent Key's team, right? Offensively, they really have struggled to get anything going and finding a rhythm in their offense after that, and yeah, that's reflected in the total yards in this game.
Well, now this defense is going to have to bow up and get the ball back to the offense because Bowling Green gets it to start this second half, up by 3. Hilaire in motion. Bazelak gets it to Hogan. A lot of room to run. Inside Georgia Tech territory. Inside the 30. Down to the 26. LaMiles Brooks tracked him down, but 49 yards on the first play from scrimmage in this half from Bowling Green.
Well, and just no one was covering him. And I don't know whether that was supposed to be Paul Moala, the linebacker, or LaMiles Brooks, the safety, but both of them got their eyes in the backfield and completely lost Finn Hogan coming across the formation.
Bazelak to give to Stewart up the middle, crashes into the second level. Down to the 14, another first down. He still didn't think he was down.
And I don't know what is going on with this defense. Just looks like not a lot of strain at all from anyone in a black jersey.
Stewart's shoulder was definitely down on the ground, so he was, but not until he picked up a first down, another 1st and 10. Again to Stewart. Give him about 2. Micaiah Scott leading the charge defensively for Georgia Tech.
Well, what a way to come out offensively. Very similar to how Georgia Tech started, though. Their opening drive with a big play. Bowling Green now doing that as they received the kickoff in the second half.
Empty backfield with Taryn Keith up to the top of the screen.
Georgia Tech does not look set. They do not look like they are communicating well. I mean, these guys don't know what they're doing right now.
Bazelak to throw. Has time trying to get it to the corner. His receiver Hilaire and the defender KJ Wallace tangled up.
Yeah, good coverage by KJ Wallace. And he kind of threw towards a double team. KJ Wallace, good pass defender. Transferred from Notre Dame last year. Really was a big part of this defense. And they're going to need big play from this defensive backfield here. Let's see if they bring pressure. They have on third down recently. Looks like now they'll rush 5.
Falcons can get a first down just inside the 5-yard line. Bazelak will throw. It's Hilaire down to the 2. It'll be first and goal, Bowling Green.
Good timing, good throw. Good job reading the defense. Just watch, look at this. Look at the accuracy. Look at the ability to feed that ball in there. Good strain from the linebacker position by Kyle Efford, excuse me.
Now Bazelak under center.
Got the bully in the backfield.
And Stewart. Instead, they'll give it to Ibrahim on the end around, and he doesn't get in. Efford, now 2 plays in a row, preventing a touchdown on this play. It'll be second down and goal.
Yeah, and you know, we talked about Paul Moala, maybe not knowing his coverage. He got pulled out, and Efford came in, and 2 good plays, preventing a touchdown on both. Down near this goal line. And you got to imagine you put the ball in Terrion Stewart's hands this close to the goal line.
Bazelak in the gun. He'll keep it, trying to get to the edge, and he does. Touchdown Falcons.
Wow, what a play fake. And Connor Bazelak, not the runner out of the quarterback group, but he made a great read and saw the defensive end crashing down in the corner, and good job of pulling it and getting into the end zone. And what a way to start the second half. Watch number 9, Kennard, down. And then just loss of leverage on the outside by Braylon Oliver, number 4. Fantastic play by the quarterback Bazelak. I don't think Scott Leffler knows who this guy's going to be after this game. Both quarterbacks are playing well.
An eye with the PAT. Bowling Green starts the second half the way Georgia Tech started the first. They take the kick and march down the field and extend their advantage, up 10. Head coach Brent Key unhappy with his team's performance here with his defense on the sideline, Mark, during that break.
Yeah, and you know, got a lot of fire. There was too much complacency by that defense on that drive, and you know, they find themselves in a position where they're down by 10 points in the second half. A lot of football left. They can have opportunities to make plays. They just have to light a little bit of fire. I think that's what Key was doing.
Leary from the 8. Avoids a tackle at the 20, brought down at the 24. Bowling Green got the second half started, and that drive started with a long pitch to Finn Hogan here, Mark.
Yeah, and watch this. So we're going to get a wide receiver coming across and then a DB bumping out. That tells me we're in zone coverage. So this linebacker is responsible for number 3. Who becomes number 3? Well, that's the backside tight end. Watch as this play develops. He loses eyes on who his new 3 receiver is, and that's the player, right? Poor play from the safety and helping, but that's got to be the linebackers all day long.
Haynes dropped in the backfield. 3 or 4 Falcon defenders in the backfield, and Darren Andrews was the one who brought him down for a loss.
Darren Andrews, tackling machine. Not the best guy in space, but you get him in the box, that dude will hit you, bring you to the ground.
Second down and 13. King to pass. Blitz up the middle. Beautiful catch. Rutherford brought it in.
Really
Haynes
good
King
catch.
standing in there too, in the face of the blitz.
Yep.
Look at Andrews coming right at him.
Good job holding on to that ball with strong hands.
3rd down and 5. King to throw, pressure on the backside, gets hit. And the pass goes awry. We'll get a flag on this too.
Oh, late flag. I think Rutherford, I think he pled his case and got one called.
That Georgia Tech bench sold it as well. The flag was thrown right from that area where Brent Key.
Pass interference, defense number 3. Ball be placed at the spot of the foul. First down.
Key was pining for it, as was Rutherford, and they got the call.
Yeah, Joseph Sipp, the linebacker, and yeah, that's a hole. And looks like the side judge, or the line judge, couldn't see that.
Got a free play here. King is going to hit his man. Blaylock. So a little bit of momentum, a little bit of the rhythm here for Georgia Tech offensively.
There it is.
Got another flag down. No, we do not. Yeah, we do.
Offside. Defense number 7. Correction, number 38. Penalty decline. Play man first down.
I forgot all about the encroachment.
Yep.
So obviously decline it, take the first down. Georgia Tech's in business.
And how about this, right? Settle down, Haynes King, get in a rhythm, start hitting your receivers, right? Get other guys involved, get Blaylock involved, get Malik Rutherford going again. Ooh, another free play. You better go up top.
Instead, he gets it back to Blaylock.
Same play. Let's copy paste.
Offside. Defense number 7. Penalty decline. First down.
Blaylock, the transfer from Georgia out of Marietta, just up the road. 2 catches in a row. And now Haynes King is feeling it a little bit here. You can tell. Got a little bit more hop in his step. And they want to go at pace.
Bowling Green showing pressure towards the bottom side of the screen. Means you got one-on-one with Blaylock if they continue to go.
Give to Jamal Haynes. Stays inside, stays on his feet. Still Davon Ferguson did a really nice job to stay with him and bring him down.
Oh yeah, that's not easy.
Game.
That's not easy. Davon Ferguson gets put in a position, and just a great move by Jamal Haynes.
Gain of 3, 2nd and 7. Avery Boyd now, number 9 in black at the top of your screen. Big, fast receiver, physical receiver. Jenna in motion. Give to Jamal Haynes. He's going to pick up another 5-6 yards. It'll bring up 3rd and short.
And that's that same push from the offensive line that we saw in that first quarter where they were moving the Bowling Green defensive line.
Haynes King will keep it.
I don't think he got it.
He's right on it. Far side linesman will mark it down. I think it's going to be 4th down, Mark. I think you're right. It will be.
Going to go right back to it.
Haynes King staying on under center.
Try to draw him offside. And you would love to have a play where you don't have to take a timeout here, but.
Timeout. Georgia Tech. First charge timeout.
Tech takes the timeout. They'll talk it over. Driving here in the 3rd, facing a 4th and 1 when we come back. Check out what's happening around the rest of college football today. Look at Georgia at Auburn, trailing by 7 in that game. I think that's early 2nd half. Go down the list. You figured Kansas and Texas was going to be a tough one, and it is right now. Texas with the lead. Yeah. Colorado was getting blown out by USC, and they came back to make it a game late.
Yeah, Shador had 5 touchdowns.
I mean, he's just going to sling it, you know? It's just like, just keep passing it. Something's going to happen.
I mean, and that's a good USC team.
Yeah. Colorado is entertaining, if nothing else, right?
Yep.
I mean, they are must-see college football every week.
And it's, again, it's good to see them bounce back. They got trounced by Oregon last week. And ate a little humble pie, I think, and came back out, had a good game.
4th down for Georgia Tech. It'll be Haynes King
Oh,
again, and he
I don't
loses
think he
his
got
footing.
it.
He may have fallen forward just enough. This may end up being the rare measurement in college football these days. He lost his footing as he was trying to get traction.
His helmet also came off, so he will have to.
Well, he hopes he has to come out for just one play and not for Bowling Green's next series. Timeout on the field as they will measure. It's right on it, looking down the line here, Mark.
But it looks almost like the ball wasn't snapped correctly. We run that back, slow it down a little bit. It looks like that kind of bobbled snap right underneath the center. Look, watch this exchange. The ball, let's see, it slips a little bit out of his hands.
And then he runs right up against the center's backside. He didn't get it.
Wow! What? Whoa, man! Back-to-back quarterback sneaks stopped. And man, we were talking, it feels like, okay, maybe Georgia Tech is doing something here on this drive. And Bowling Green.
They just snatched the momentum right back. And some Boo-Birds here at Bobby Dodd Stadium raining down on this Georgia Tech team today. We mentioned in the open, coming off their most impressive win of the season at Wake Forest last week. Really looking to build some momentum this week. And they are having a devil of a time here against these Falcons from Bowling Green. Stewart bounces it outside. Picks up about 3. Defense once again on the tackle. I think Stewart can do some squats, some deadlifts. I mean, look at that lower body.
Yep. He can move weight.
And he's been moving the pile today as Bowling Green continues to dominate in time of possession, really going all the way back to the first few minutes of this game. Stewart. No, this time they go out to the other side and try and get it to Finn Hogan. Good fake. Had me fooled.
Good job by Georgia Tech not being fooled and playing their leverage into the boundary. Even if that was caught, that would have been tackled for a very minimal gain.
I'll tell you this, both these quarterbacks are very good on their face.
Yeah, they are.
Bazelak and Orth have been outstanding today. That one didn't fool Georgia Tech, though, and you saw Andrew Thacker, the defensive coordinator. He needs his defense to step up really big right here. Get the ball back to his offense in good field position. Showing some pressure up the middle. That's Tatum. 7 in black. Now he backs out. Bazelak steps up, has a receiver over the middle, hits him for a first down. Ibrahim will move the chains. Flag down, though, behind the play. Let's check the marker.
Holding, offense number 64. The penalty is half distance to the goal.
Bronson Warner, he doesn't like the call. It negates a 17-yard pickup. Check it out.
Yeah, you watch 64, and this is a really, really good rush by Kyle Eifert. Again, the backup linebacker making a difference in this game, just continuing to press through, and that was a good call. Good play by Bowling Green, by Connor Bazelak, but negated, and Georgia Tech gets another shot at this 3rd down.
Johnson Patterson is now the tailback for the Falcons. 3rd and 15. Tech brings just 4. Bazelak is going to run it. Gets hammered at the 24, and that's really close to a first down as well. LaMiles Brooks is able to tackle him, bring him down, but...
And it is a first down.
Wow. I mean, the quarterback keeps it from his own 8-yard line and goes 15 yards and picks up the first down.
Wow. That was a design quarterback draw the whole way. Big pickup.
And that clock continues to run. Stewart loses his footing, just gets back to the line of scrimmage. Take a look at that first down pickup from Bazelak.
Yeah, and watch the blocking he gets from his running back and the center. Watch these guys out in front. Just a great job of finding their men, getting on their men, and pushing just enough. And that's, it's frustrating for the defense, but honest, it's not physical enough. You need to take on those blocks with some more physicality. Good job by that offensive line.
Whistle blows this play dead before it gets started. Jeff Flanagan kind of moseys over on the field, doesn't he? Our referee today, this ACC crew.
Okay. After review, the runner's knee was down at the 22-yard line. Second down.
So he lost his footing, and the knee touched when he did, before he even made contact. It's hard to tell with Stewart's knees.
Stewart gave him a thumbs up. He's like, yep,
good
got
call.
that one right.
Second down and 12. Here's Ibrahim in motion at the bottom of your screen. Bazelak is going to look his way. Defended nicely that time. King defending on the play, because it looked like that was going to be a strike.
Really, really good job by Jalen King. And they brought pressure off the edge, and it didn't really look like the blitz came very fast. Man, there's a lot of talking by these refs. Just come on. Let's go. We got a football game to play here. He's still talking. But anyways, as I was trying to say, Jalen King, great play.
Got to get their clock straightened out.
I mean,
right now,
he's going again.
5 minutes and 41 seconds, please. It did not start during the last play.
Well, that is important, though, I guess.
5:41.
right now, Coach Leffler is saying, Mark, just hold on a minute. I need these officials.
I know, and
to
the
set
clock
this
guys
clock
are
back.
like, yeah, we're not doing it. We're just going to run the clock down to 4:58.
5 minutes, 41 seconds on the clock, please.
They're like, nope. There it is.
Bronx cheer from the fans here at Bobby Dodd. Okay, we're ready to go. 3rd and 12, big third down again. They picked up the last time it was 3rd and long. 3rd and 15 on the last go round. Bazelak underneath, but no way Allaire's going to make that happen. King with the stop.
Hey, when you need, they're going to have a illegal block downfield by the running back who just kind of took out the linebacker.
Holding, defense number 21.
Wow.
Carries an automatic first down.
Oh, I need to see that. Interesting.
That's against Omar Daniels on the back end. Didn't see it at all because it wasn't really involved in the play in terms of the point of attack mark.
Yeah, and I don't.
He's holding the running back, Twan Keith.
But when you watch it back, that was the linebacker.
Yeah, that's not 21. 21 was, well, he wasn't in the play.
Yep.
Let's see if we can find it after this play. But it's another first down conversion. Hogan with room to run into Georgia Tech territory. What kind of a game is this kid having today?
I know. And again, another good play recognition. Georgia Tech is sending a lot of these fire zones. What does that mean? You're sending a zone pressure where you drop off your defensive end. And your defensive end is responsible for the flat coverage. Well, what Bowling Green is doing, they're saying, hey, I'm going to identify the defensive end that's dropping, and I'm going to bring Finn Hogan right behind him on a wheel route. It's been really, really good game plan from this offensive coaching staff for Bowling Green.
Hogan now in the slot. Give to Stewart. Still on his feet. 35, just powers his way, pulls over defender, gets down to the 34. And LaMiles Brooks is going to have nightmares about 4 and white tonight. Stewart just went over 100 yards on the game, 105. Got an injured Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket in the secondary.
Timeout for a player injury.
That looks like that might be Clayton Powell-Lee. It is. We'll check on his condition when we come back. 24-14, Bowling Green on top. Here's a look at a replay of that defensive holding that extended this Bowling Green drive.
Yeah, it was down the backside of this play, 3rd and 12. Watch Omar Daniels just getting too physical and taking down the tight end. And that, you know, that's right here. That looks like kind of another one. But that's where it was. And good job by our camera crew finding that for us, because that was away from the play and a big mistake for Georgia Tech on that 3rd down.
Another first down for the Falcons. Bazelak. That's Keith.
Man.
Inside the 20, inside the 10, and out of bounds at the 6. LaMiles Brooks is running all over the field chasing these Bowling Green Falcons, but not catching up to them until they picked up big chunks.
And it's that swap action. And swap by meaning like the wide receiver or running back are coming from the left side of the field back across to the right side of the field, and these linebackers' eyes have just been poor. And it's just a really good catch and run, but another big play on very similar action that we saw on the first play of this the second half.
28 yards. Bazelak rolls the pocket. Throws this one away.
Smart play by Bazelak. It's always going to be tough rolling to your left with a right-handed quarterback. If something's not there, right, and you have to throw even towards the middle of the field at all, much better to just throw it out.
See Bowling Green's numbers offensively. They have been challenged at times this game. As a matter of fact, they scored 13 points in the last 2 games combined coming into this game. But it has been a different story today in Atlanta. Stewart trying to get to the end zone and will make it.
Yes, he will. He's going to get in. And
Bowling Green is housing Georgia Tech here on their own field this afternoon.
yeah, and 14 points scored right off the bat. And since then, there have been 30 unanswered points from the Falcons. And that man right there has been a big reason for it, whether it's his actual running the football, 18 carries, 111 yards, and a touchdown, or it's his threat of running the football that set up some of these play action, these swap boot plays.
Anaya to make it 31-14, Bowling Green. They just carved Georgia Tech up on that drive. 86 yards, Mark.
And just poor angles, right? Again, the linebacker position, Paul Moala, you just got to take an angle that allows you to make a play on the running back. And you saw the burst, right? You don't look at Terrion Stewart and say, man, he's going to be the fastest guy out there, but you mentioned his lower body. Like, there's explosion in that man. He is a bomb waiting to explode, and whether it's exploding to the sideline or not, and that is a head coach talking to his defensive coordinator saying that this is not acceptable. And you know, there's only so much coaches can do on a Saturday, but when you have the opposing team starting running back dancing to the music that's in the stadium, you're not having a great day.
They have been outgained 383 to 208 yards in this game. Falcons have rushed for 147 yards. Coming into this game, 94th in the country at 128 a game. They've blown through that number already with a quarter still to play. Can Leary make a play? He cannot. Dropped at the 16. Coming up after the game, the ACC Huddle crew. We're about to break down the afternoon games, get you ready for Pitt and Virginia Tech tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern. Then after that game, the crew will have a full post-game and wrap-up of the day right here on the ACC Network and on the ESPN app. But I'm sure that cast of characters down there in the lower left is going to have a lot to say about this game right here and this performance by Georgia Tech, coming off that win on the road at Wake Forest last week. You just cannot predict what's happening in this conference right now in so many ways.
No, you can't. And, you know, Clemson destroys Syracuse earlier, and it's a wild one, but you got a lot of teams that are playing some really good football and then some question marks.
And the up and down nature of this team continues, but that's a beautiful pass and catch made by Blaylock, the transfer from Georgia. That's a beautiful pass.
That's beautiful. I mean, that's what Haynes King could do. And he just really, and that's a hard throw to make. Over top of the linebacker, underneath the safety, before the corner gets there. And we just haven't seen a whole ton of down the field passes.
Oh! Intercepted. Still on his feet, Deshaun Jones. To the 20, and he's going to score.
Oh, man. Well, you know what it looks like when you put a nail in a coffin, Chris?
I think that's what it looked like.
That's what that looked like. And
didn't I just say the up and down nature of this team?
Yeah.
And after a beautiful pass, it's a pick six.
Yep.
Up and down.
You know, forcing it a little bit, just a real, phenomenal play. Oh, there's Leffler. He's trying to pretend like that didn't happen.
I mean, he's trying to.
It's like when a cat falls down.
He's trying to bump Darren Andrews, and that's probably a losing proposition for Coach Leffler.
Sean Jones.
I'm sure he doesn't mind.
What a play. Junior out of Akron, Ohio.
46 yards to pay dirt. It is 38-14 here at Bobby Dodd.
And there it is. Cover two, really good job. Nothing threatened his flat, so he sunk deeper. And that ball could have been thrown out in way farther in front of, I believe it was Luke Benson. You see Sims, number 8, the safety, is supposed to be over top, and just short-armed it, and great throw. Here's Leffler getting up and going down.
I think Andrews was actually kind to him on that.
Yeah, he was.
Could have sent him into next week.
He didn't even look back. He didn't look back for his kill. He just knew he'd be okay. Cat-like reflexes on the ground there.
38-14. Georgia Tech travels to Miami next weekend. ACC primetime.
And Miami, they look good.
I mean, you knew it was only a matter of time before Cristobal had them in the right direction. Some unbelievable recruiting classes and transfers.
Yeah.
And that team they look good.
And
that was the team that was up and down last year.
Yep, it was.
Now they're up.
And they're up. And they're doing it with the line of scrimmage. Their defensive line is playing lights out. Their offensive line is moving people off the ball. And Georgia Tech's going to really need to have some good looks in the mirror and see what they're willing to accept on film and what they're not.
You also have a feeling, as we've seen Brent Key on the sideline today, I think you're probably going to, I'm just speculation here, Mark, but I think you'll probably have a week where he says, everything's open. You know, I mean, and you've been in that situation before. Like, every position is open.
Yep.
It's time to compete to see who wants to play, and you'll play next week in Miami.
Yep. I think so.
King has time here. Flag down on the play. Might be a free play. Blaylock got a foot down. That's a heck of a catch by Blaylock.
I'll tell you who's going to definitely be playing. It's Blaylock. He's made some really good catches for them. And it hasn't been all bad. There've been guys who have really strained and really played hard. I mean,
offside. Defense number 16. Penalties decline. Roughing play is first down.
but they just cannot keep giving up such big plays on the defensive side of the ball.
King checks the sideline for the play. Falcons bring just 4, so he has time. This time too much sauce on it for Blaylock to come down with it. Trent Sims on coverage. Look at this catch the previous play to get that foot down.
Good job.
Yeah, what great awareness.
Really good awareness. Had to get himself a nice game. 5 catches, 100 yards.
King to throw.
That throw.
Singleton makes the catch. And then he steps out of bounds. That's another one. I mean, that had to be a perfect throw.
Yeah, it had to be, and it was. And it's interesting. Right before that play, I was going to say, you know what? Haynes King has not thrown to the wide side of the field very much. It's been a lot of the short side of the field, maybe over the middle, near the hash, but that was a really good throw, stretching the defense out to the wide side.
Trying to hit a tight end over the middle, just overshoots Sider. King, the transfer from Texas A&M.
Timeout for a player injury. Defense.
Longview, Texas, out of East Texas. There's a look at offensive coordinator Buster Faulkner on the left.
And, you know, again, you have a long ways to go to get back in this game if that's possible. But you also haven't even entered the fourth quarter yet. As far as overall feeling of this game and what you want to, you know, finish feeling like you can correct some things. And you have to. And, you know, with 16 minutes and 30 seconds left in this game, you can't fold right now. And that's going to, I think that's going to be really telling for Brent Key, is how do my players respond when this game feels over right now? Can we come out and fight? Can we correct the mistakes on the defensive side of the ball?
Darius Lorfols was the injured Falcon. He was able to walk off under his own power, so that was good. 2nd down and 10 for Haynes King and the Jackets. High snap, King comes down with it. Gets it to Jamal Haynes. He's able to pick up 6 yards on 2nd down, 3rd and 4. Billy Roberts on the tackle.
Yeah, good run. Good blocking. Positive game.
Pressure coming up the middle. Ball tipped at the line of scrimmage and then dropped. It looked like Leary was going to be able to come down with it.
Yeah, and Adrian tips. You hold your breath. Good job getting hands up by big number 60, Dontrez Brown. It did look like Leary had a chance at that one. The 4th down, obviously 4-down territory, down 24 points.
Falcons showing pressure. We've seen this before, haven't we?
Yep. Try to draw them off sides, but you can't call a timeout here. I mean, if you want any chance of coming back in the game, you got to save these things and have a play ready.
Still 10 on the play clock.
Bowling Green's coming.
Now they check out of it and bring just 4. Haynes King's going to have to run it. No, he checks it underneath. The beautiful job by Haynes. Sidesteps a couple of tacklers. Picks up the 1st down. That was a nice job by Haynes King as well. Looked like he was going to run it. Found Jamal Haynes out of the corner of his eye. They pick up a 1st down.
Yeah, it was really good job. Jamal Haynes looks like he got a shoulder pad on that hip bone. Those things are painful. Yeah, we haven't talked much about Avery Boyd this game, the wide receiver, big wide receiver, physical guy. They wanted to get him involved more.
Rutherford, great in space.
There
That's
it
why.
is. Well, all right. There you go. There's some life. Gonna stay on the field, go for 2 here.
Trying to make it a 16-point game, as it is 18 right now.
And, you know, does he fight right? I see some fight from this Yellow Jacket offense. Now, okay, you're going to have to see it from the defense. That's been the biggest problem in this second half. And we remember that little conversation with the card in front of the mouth, talking to Andrew Thacker. They're going to have to step up.
Cooley stays in the game. In the backfield with Haynes King. They want the ball in the left hash mark.
Rutherford with the cut split towards the top of your screen. There he goes.
King looking to throw. The back of the end zone. Blaylock couldn't come down with it. The lead remains 18 for the Falcons.
Well covered by Bowling Green, and had a chance at it, just trying to find a way to tiptoe and stay in bounds. Always hard when your back's to the sideline because you have to get your toes in and your heels. Still an 18-point game. That could have made it a 2-score game. You get 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions.
I wonder what's going through that man's mind right now. The ups and downs of being a college football coach. They gave up a big lead against Louisville.
Yep. I was going to say, there next to him is Andrew Thacker, right? What's going through his mind?
I mean, the ups and downs of this year for Georgia Tech have been immense. And this is as big a down as we have seen to this point. Still a quarter to play, though, so it could be the biggest up.
Yep.
But they've got a lot of work to do, and it'll start here with a 3 and out from this defense. Another time-consuming drive by the Falcons, and whether they score or not, that'll put it away.
That it will. And when I was playing, we always broke up the college schedule into thirds, right? You talk about your first third, first 4 games, second third, second 4 games, and there's some promise. Georgia Tech showed a little bit in those first 4 games. And this has not been a great start. Kind of the second portion of the season.
Stewart moves the pile for 4 yards. You think about it, they had the big lead against Louisville in the opener. Couldn't finish in the second half. 1-score game at Ole Miss in the second half. Couldn't finish there. Got the win they needed to have on the road in conference play at Wake Forest last week. That may have been a pivoting moment for them. But then, after going up 14-0 in this game, it has been all Bowling Green since. That man right there, defensive coordinator Andrew Thacker, trying to fire up his defense. Got to get the ball back to the offense, trailing by 18 as we head to the 4th.
Your team just got into the end zone for the first time since about 10 minutes in the first quarter. What does that do to help you heading into the 4th?
Yeah, I mean, it gives us points on the board right now. We got to get a stop here on defense, get the ball back, score quickly. They're holding the football, so we're not getting stopped, not getting off the field on defense consistently. So in order to be able to have a chance here in this game, we got to get a stop right here. We got to get the ball back, score quickly, continue to put points on the board with it.
You expected a dogfight against Bowling Green, and you pride yourself on having a tough team. How do you want to see that toughness come out to finish?
Look, I mean, the way you play the 4th quarter, I mean, we got 15 minutes right now to put 1 quarter together in this game and be able to get stops on defense, play good special teams, and be able to put the ball in the end zone on offense. Otherwise, we're not going to get what we want.
We appreciate the time.
All right, thanks.
All right, thank you, Maryland coach. Well, this is what he talked about right here. Got to get the ball back right away.
Really good tackle on that last play by Andre White, the 4th-string linebacker. They're obviously trying to find a spark at that linebacker spot.
Is there any doubt that guy was going to get the ball? Stewart got it, but Georgia Tech's defense rose to the occasion and stopped him in his tracks.
And that was the push that we expected to see from guys like Zeke Biggers and Nakia Scott. Just that interior push, and really good job by Scott showing color in the backfield. And there it is, right? That's it. That's the stop. Very little time came off the clock. And now you got a chance. You got a chance to drive down the field. And there's Andrew Thacker, defensive coordinator. Obviously said something to get his guys fired up.
Dominic Blaylock back to return this kick from his 22. Makes the first man miss. He gets run out of bounds at the 37. 49 yards on the punt, 16 on the return from Blaylock.
Well, here you go. Haynes King, you got your work cut out for you. See his day today, and that one interception was returned for a touchdown. But he's shown what he can do. He's shown he can make all the throws in the field. He's shown that he can use his legs to make something happen when plays break down. Now you just got to read the defense and figure out what are they going to give us, because we need to score, and as Coach Key said, we need to score quickly.
Now we get a whistle before we even get a snap. Another clock issue here.
He's counting the players.
The previous play is under further review.
Well, they're reviewing the punt return from Blaylock.
Well, I think what they're doing is seeing how many players broke the huddle for the offense. There were only 11 guys in the field when they blew the whistle. Did someone else run off the field?
See the linesman right there talking to Brent Key. It's Kirk Lewis, this ACC crew. So taking a little break here in Atlanta. Tech trailing by 18. They were up 14-0 in the blink of an eye at the start of this game. First play from scrimmage, which seems like forever ago, was a 53-yard bomb to Eric Singleton. Blew right past the defender. Then on their next drive, they marched right down the field. Easy as you like, Mark. For a score, it was 14-0, and Bowling Green looked in trouble.
Yep, and here we go. Let's see, is there a fair catch maybe? We're kind of guessing here what we're looking at. No fair catch. So that would be pretty easy to review quickly. So maybe it's not that.
I'm just laughing to myself, thinking about how you wanted the officials to stop talking earlier in the day.
Yeah.
Now I want to hear more from the officials.
I know, something. And a lot of times we do have communication with the replay officials up here, but our producers are saying that we don't have any right now.
So our referee, Jeff Flanagan, on the left, is taking a look at something on that punt return, and we'll get a word from him right now.
After further review, during the punt, receiver number 17 gave an invalid signal at the 22-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the receiving team at the 22.
Well, it wasn't even 17.
Well, so it could be a different player, right? If 17 is on the field and not receiving the football, and he gives a fair catch signal, then you would have to have a fair catch.
Okay, now on the right here on the sideline, Rodney Shelley is 17. He was almost on the sideline. If we can show that, he was away from Blaylock when Blaylock made the catch. He was literally standing right next to the coaching staff on the left. You can't even see him. He's down here to the left. You can't even see him.
There he is right there. And we'll see what happens. That's 18.
No,
that's
he's
not
down.
17.
You can't even see him.
Oh.
He's beneath the screen here.
So he's not on the field?
There he is right there. You see him
there
at
he
the
is.
30? He started the play right on the sideline. But I don't see a signal. It must have happened before we could see him come into the play. That was a bizarre punt return lineup to have.
Very interesting.
Shelley way over to the left
And
by
there
the
he
sideline.
is over there. Well,
who knows? Either way, it's going to cost Georgia Tech some yards.
very interesting to know how they even saw that on replay if we can't see it.
King's going to use his legs. And he gets drilled at the 35. That'll bring flags out from everybody. Darius Lore-Fills, who was injured moments ago, back in the game, and he just lowered the boom on Haynes King, and that'll add 15 yards to the end of that run.
Personal foul. Dead ball, personal foul, late hit with targeting, number 9, defense. That play is under further review.
Yeah, that's all the targeting things. Defenseless player, he's sliding, lowering your helmet, hitting with the crown of the helmet, in the helmet.
We'll take a quick break. Georgia Tech from midfield when we come back, trailing by 18. Confirmed against Darius Lore-Fills. So Bowling Green down 2 starting DBs. Jalen Husky injured earlier in the game, and Lore-Fills now ejected for targeting. Here it is. Oh.
Yep, lucky that Haynes King is all right.
He is. 1st and 10 from midfield. Looking to pass quickly. Rush coming in though, can't get it to Rutherford. Dropped. Fans here want a late hit, won't get it.
Another great play by Chase Davis, number 16, with the pressure and just getting his hands up in the throwing lane. So often defenders will jump in that situation, and he did a good job of just sticking those hands up and not jumping, not leaving his feet.
He's spending a lot of time in that backfield today. 16 White. 2nd down and 10. King to throw. Falcons bring just 4. Blaylock again. Still on his feet. Finally brought down at the 32. Blaylock has had about 120 yards receiving.
Yeah, really good job of securing a lot of catches.
Some late pressure. There he is again. Out of bounds inside the 20. This is just easy pitch and catch right now.
Yeah, really good route too. Just another stop route. He's been on that sideline running that hitch route, and you know, he runs it so well that he just continues to be open.
King to throw. Underneath to Cooley. Deflected in the air. Intercepted.
What a
George
catch.
Oladokin. I think that was deflected twice before Oladokin was able to bring it in.
The old tip drill.
Anders got a piece of it first, I think.
Here it is. Once, twice.
Cooley to Anders to Oladokin.
There it is. Man. Really looked like Georgia Tech was moving a little bit. And those are the types of things that Bowling Green talked about. Hey, we need to catch the tips. We need to catch the balls when they come to us. We need to make plays. They have definitely done that today.
Give to Stewart. Stop right at the line of scrimmage. Maryland, what's going on down in the field?
Andrew Thacker, after Georgia Tech's last defensive stop, went over to his DBs and he said, hey, we're simplifying everything. You guys did great with that stop. We're going machete here, and I want it to be easy for you. There are 2 things to be accountable for, so you won't get confused when we go back out there. That's what they're out there with right now.
Machete just chopping the tall grass. Anything that stands in our way, whether it's mentally or physically, let's chop it out. Forget about it. Let's go back to base. We just need to do what we do well. That's what they did on that last series.
Left tackle Cameron Stewart hobbled off the field for Bowling Green on that last play. 2nd down and 10. Bazelak stopped inside the 5. Late flag, though. He may have gotten Georgia Tech on a face mask here.
personal foul, face mask, defense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
See Pal Lee. No, it wasn't him. It was Biggers.
There it is. It's almost even within the one play itself, Mark.
Yep.
Something good happens and then something bad happens. Not even just every other play, within the play.
It's not funny.
Fresh set of downs, and they're out from beneath the shadow of their own goalpost. Stewart spins away from the defender. He is just so tough to bring down. Still on his feet.
There he goes.
Out to the 37. What a run by Stewart. Sims again had to bring him downfield, but that's 17 yards.
Just strong. Watch the feet and the leg drop. Just keep moving. Keep moving. Let's get those legs. Keep on moving. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. That is it. That's the way you run the football. Look at this camera angle.
It's like Maurice Jones-Drew. Don't you think?
Yes,
Kind of very
yes.
similar.
That's a very good comparison. And you see him backpedal. Hey, I'm just going to keep moving. Never relent to contact. Whether you're a linebacker, a safety, an offensive, that is the name of the game in football. Never relent to contact.
Keith giving him a breather, high snap. Bazelak brings it down, and Keith picks up a couple. Drive winds down inside of 10 minutes.
3-yard gain on the play, 2nd down and 7.
405 yards today for Bowling Green, and they aren't done yet. Bazelak in no hurry here. He'll roll the pocket and just throw it away. No, he doesn't. Did Keith go up to make that catch? I thought Bazelak was definitely going to chuck that into the stands, and instead Keith goes up and keeps the clock rolling and is able to pick up a couple of yards.
Yeah, very interesting action. The right guard pulls around to the left. The running back from the left goes down to the right. Guys ran into each other and bumped into each other and fell down in the middle of the field. Bazelak was like...
It was almost Mahomes-esque.
Yeah.
I mean, it looked like he was throwing it away and at the last second curve to the left. Okay, well...
Hey, when you're feeling it, you're feeling it.
Job well done because it keeps the clock running. That's going to roll another 40 seconds off of that game clock. Tech brings delayed pressure. Got it to Osborne. Wallace on the tackle. Right at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a first down. Right on the line to gain. Osborne signals.
Yeah, man, this has been Connor Bazelak's game. Came into the day, who were we going to have? Connor Bazelak, Camden Orth. In the first quarter, it was kind of that rotation. Second quarter, we saw a little bit of it, but really since then, it's been Connor Bazelak managing this offense, not to perfection, but pretty darn close.
Stewart. It is just so hard to bring him down. Look at him carrying 3 Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets to the first down marker.
There's Paul you have him. The hole is right there. You and the running back in the hole, and they're tackling high. I mean, you can't tackle a guy around the shoulder pads. You got to go low. You got to take out his legs, and especially when you're going against a Maurice Jones-Drew, especially when you're going against these types of running backs that just can power through. Got to change your target. Stewart's approaching his career high.
He's at 138 right now.
Career high of 170.
He's going to lose a couple on this one.
Stewart, the ball carrier. Brought down by a score.
Timeout. Georgia Tech, second charge timeout.
Georgia Tech wants a timeout to talk things over to stop the clock, trailing by 18 here in the fourth.
It's a tradition that we've started here on the ACC Network of Herzlich's Heroes, and today we're honoring Braden Warren. Braden Warren is a young man, a super fan that Coach Key met when he was on a recruiting trip to Cass High School back in January, and he saw how much of a fan Braden was. He said, hey, we want to get you out to a game, and he was here today. Out here watching his Yellow Jackets play, and he's still here fighting through the struggles towards the end here, but he is a guy that has just uplifted this team, brought so much. He met with the players and coaches this morning, and he is a hero to me. And great job by the coaching staff and Coach Key of making a little boy's dream come true, bring him to the game today.
Second down and 12 coming out of the timeout. Bazelak, Osborne, first down and more. Finally brought down at the 30. All the numbers that are impressive for Bowling Green today, and there are many of them. The most impressive one is going to be under the turnover margin, where they're +3.
Yeah.
And they have not turned the ball over today. And they came into this game turning it over on seemingly every possession. I mean, last week was a disaster. They turned the ball over 12 times in their first 4 games.
Yep.
0 today.
I would say that number and then the sack number. Their quarterbacks have really not gotten sacked very often. Only 2 sacks on the day. And this is a Georgia Tech team that had 8 sacks last week. This offensive line has produced.
That time Stewart met in the hole and driven back. Paul Moala, he wasn't going to get run over that time.
Nope, there you go, Moala. That's exactly how you do it, right? You come downhill, you fit the hole, you don't hesitate at all. That's the result. Big shoes to fill for these linebackers. Charlie Thomas and Ace Ely, who just, were studs at that second level last year.
Stalwarts, leaders, not easily replaced. Keith will get the carry. Flag on the play. Keith takes it down to the 20. Check the marker.
Holding, offense number 53, 10-yard penalty, second down.
Fatukasi was the guilty party.
There was a hold there, but again, just right up the middle. Just the middle of the defense has been porous really this entire season.
Yeah, Tech came in 128th in the country, giving up over 236 yards on the ground per game.
Yeah, it's kind of astonishing that they're way under that right now. But,
that shows you how bad it's been in previous games.
172 yards given up today.
Keith. We'll pick up a couple. It'll bring up third down and long. The Falcons are more than happy at this point. Just run that clock, now under 5.
Yep, still a 3-score game. Those guys' glasses off. Focusing on time management, clock management. Wow, that's that.
There have been a number of third down conversions where it's 3rd and 15, 3rd and 12. Bazelak will just let this play clock run all the way down. Call a timeout.
Timeout. Bowling Green, first charge timeout.
We'll take a break with them. Falcons looking to run out the clock, up big here in Atlanta in the 4th. Let's take a look at our Saturday MVP of the game, brought to you by Sport Clips, and it's Terrion Stewart. Over 170 total yards and a touchdown today, Mark.
Oh boy, he was scary Terry today on the ground. You did not want to see him in the hole. He was breaking tackles. he was making guys look silly, and anytime he imposed his will on this Georgia Tech defense. And here he goes again with a little shiftiness, breaking another tackle, trying to get to the edge. Well, they call him Bully. I'll call him Scary Terry, because he brings fear to opposing defensive coordinators and players. Great game by him today.
Timeout. Georgia Tech, third, final charge timeout. Please reset the clock to 4:07, please. 4:07.
Coach Keat calling his final timeout, wants to get the ball back to his offense. And Mark, to your point, I think it's at this point in time for Georgia Tech, it's trying to do something in game type situations. Looking forward to next week in Miami.
On the clock, please.
This clock operator is just not, there he goes. I mean, you're right. You're just like, okay, let's work something. Let's not look terrible right now. You know, and you're not going to win this game. You're not. You weren't going to win this game from the third quarter, but can we play some football? And can we do it at a level that we're proud of, at least, where we can at least put on one portion of film and say, look, this is something good. Every game has bad. Every game has good too, right? Let's make these last 4 minutes some good football. But yeah, Bowling Green's just not taking their foot off the gas, really. You know, they're continuing to pound.
A couple of teams that really need to win. This is kind of a desperation game tonight at 8 o'clock, isn't it? In Blacksburg, these two teams right here, you're going to see a battle, because we're getting close to that midway point of the season where these two teams can go in either direction. This could be a pivotal game for both of them.
Yeah, you watch out for Rodney Hammond. He's finally healthy, that big running back for Pitt. Look for him to have 30 carries in that game against Virginia Tech.
They've had a hard time stopping the run, too. The Hokies have.
Yes, they have.
Yeah, Hammond a couple of games ago, Pitt coaching staff said, we got to get this guy the ball more. That's it. Enough playing around. Trying to get it to Hilaire on 4th down. Incomplete. So Georgia Tech will take over. We'll take a break, come back and wrap things up from Atlanta. Stewart's done a little bit of everything today, including breaking it down on the sideline for the Falcons.
What's that, the Cupid Shuffle? That's what you like to do, Chris.
Yeah, me dancing. Some dejected fans here today. Not what they expected. The day where the team came out in the Ghost uniforms. Thought they could build off that win last week at Wake Forest. Just hasn't come to fruition today. That man right there, too. Singleton started the game off with an explosion. 53-yard touchdown catch on the first play from scrimmage. King flushed. Throws that one out of bounds. Intended for Singleton. Chase Davis, once again, Mark.
Yeah.
In the backfield, 13 of 16 to White, rather.
Yeah, there are guys stepping up on this Bowling Green defense that, you know, we meet with these coaches and, you know, talk about guys, and sometimes there's guys that they don't really talk about. Chase Davis wasn't a guy that they really talked about a lot, but he's made a big impact on this game, staying home, being productive.
Rutherford underneath. Here's the other thing. There'll be other analysts and play-by-play guys, men and women, talking to this team before their game next week at Miami of Ohio, and that's a really big game for them.
Oh, yeah.
And I got a feeling that Chase Davis' name is going to be brought up in those meetings.
I would think so.
Complete over the middle again to Rutherford, Malik Rutherford.
When you think about it, you know, for Bowling Green, they're starting to get into their MAC play, right? The heavy conference schedule that they've got going forward, and to hit that part of your schedule when you're playing like this, there's going to be a lot of confidence going in there. And you mentioned you're at Miami of Ohio and at Buffalo.
You got Toledo here on November 14th.
Yep.
If things go right for them, you'll be circling that date.
Yep.
But again, you get blown out by Ohio, but you get an opportunity in retribution 2 weeks later at Miami of Ohio with a big win at Georgia Tech under your belt.
Yeah, yep, absolutely.
All of a
right.
sudden, it's a completely different outlook on the year for them. Because what matters to them is the MAC.
Yes.
They're going to play Michigan out of the MAC, and you expect to get hammered by Michigan, and you expect to get hammered, or at least get beat by Georgia Tech on the road. But the MAC is what matters. Now you come in here and you like, it's like you steal a win here. King picks up good yardage before sliding down.
And I think questions have been answered for their team too, right? Hey, what do we have in our quarterback? How can we get our quarterbacks back healthy? Well, Bazelak answered that question. Can we perform an entire game without having some costly penalties or turnovers? Yeah, I think that's been answered. You can do it. And sometimes it's just that belief of, hey, we thought at the end of August, we knew what we had. And then these different games happen where they start to put some doubt in your mind. You come out here, travel down to Atlanta, and okay, this is what we saw in August, and the team starts believing.
Underneath. Good to see Dante Smith back in action. Been injured these last couple of weeks for the Yellow Jackets. Getting back into the flow of things. King to the end zone. Tried to hit his tight end, Luke Benson, just a little bit out of his reach. At the end of the day, those 2 interceptions notwithstanding, and I don't want to make light of them, but Haynes King's numbers could be even massive at the end of the day. He could have 400 yards of total offense. If he can put this ball in the end zone, that'll be his 3rd touchdown.
Yeah, they've only had the ball for they've had the ball under 15 minutes in this entire game. I mean, you don't really get much more lopsided. Like if you're playing a service academy that runs the ball every down, that's when you see a 41 to 15 time of possession. It's just been wild.
Yeah, their first 2 touchdowns. That's another score for the Jackets. That's Abdul Jannah, and that's 2 weeks in a row. The big receiver has gone up to bring down a touchdown catch. So therein lies some of the positive you might be able to take out of this, Mark. You've got the little receivers, the speed guys that have been contributing. You've got Blaylock picking it up today, and now you got Jannah with his 2nd touchdown in as many weeks.
And you want to build confidence where you can build confidence, and no one's feeling good right now on that Georgia Tech side. But there's some consolation in saying, hey, look, we get some points on the board. I don't think we can really get it twisted. This is not a close game.
Not in the slightest. But Tech trying to get something positive before the clock strikes triple zeros. Getting there at Miami next week. ACC primetime, Saturday night. Tech has shocked Miami before down in South Florida. It would be a similar result if they were to do it again next Saturday. But if there's anything we've seen in this league in the first month, week to week, you have no idea what you're going to see.
No, you don't. You do feel like there's a couple teams that have been pretty consistent. Miami's been one of them. Duke's been one of them.
Yeah.
And Louisville's been one of them.
Louisville finds a way to win even when they're not playing great. Like last night's a perfect example of that.
Exactly. But they're going to be an explosive offense, and that they've shown that.
Timeout. Bowling Green. 2nd charge timeout. Timeout will be 30 seconds.
Bowling Green expecting the onside kick, so want to make sure they've got all their I's dotted and their T's crossed. Yeah, you think about Louisville last night. NC State defensively, great job by NC State on defense. Louisville found a way to win that game, to do just enough.
They did. I think they have confidence in their playmakers and their defense. They're opportunistic defense. They get turnovers when needed. And they stand up and they have belief in themselves. I think that's what Jeff Brom brought there.
Yeah.
Just this belief that they didn't have under Scott Satterfield, where if we go down or we have a bad play, those things snowball. I haven't seen them snowball with Jeff Brom.
Yeah, bottom line is they're 5-0. Very enviable position. Onside kick coming here for Georgia Tech. Ball bounces high, picked up by the wide receiver, Hilaire. Hands team for the Falcons. And with Georgia Tech, no timeouts on the clock. It'll be a couple of knees, and that'll be it.
Oh man, just the I love seeing guys excited. Camden Orth, number 12 over there, doing a little dance.
Think about the week this team has had. I mean, at his press conference earlier in the week, Leffler said, "I don't think I've ever seen a half of football like that, like they played at Ohio in his life."
Yep.
And yet, 6 days later.
And how about, right, like you go for that terrible half of football, then you come out and the first play of the game is a touchdown against your defense. And then you punt it back, and then it's a long drive for another touchdown. And then your team responds. Like that, I think more than anything, Scott Leffler is going to tell his guys, look, this is exactly how I wanted this game to go. You know what it feels like to be punched in the mouth, and then you answered that call and fought back.
And for Georgia Tech, you got to imagine it's going to be a week of practice for Coach Key and this staff, much like it was for Coach Leffler last week.
Yep.
A lot of searching, a lot of soul searching, a lot of trying to fix some things on film, finding players that are going to be able to perform for you, because there isn't a whole lot of time before you got to go down to Miami.
And guess what? If you, again, this is a non-conference game. If you go down to Miami and you beat Miami, 7 days from now can be a completely different feeling on this Georgia Tech sideline.
That is a good point. Falcon fans that made the trip down I-75 with one final cheer for their club. What a performance it was as our two coaches embrace. Final seconds tick off the clock. And it has gone final. Bowling Green Falcons out of the MAC come to Atlanta. They're down 14-0 early. They weren't shook. They came back and dominated the rest of the way and picked up the dub here at Bobby Dodd Stadium. For Mark Kirchlick and Marilyn Payne, I'm Chris Cotter saying so long from Atlanta. Let's send you to Kelsey Reeks and the Huddle Crew in Blacksburg, Virginia.